Good morning, everyone. Welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot with a little bit of astrology for these dailies. And as you can see, for today, February 7th, Tuesday, I'm using Ciro Marchetti's Tarot of Dreams. I like this deck because it has astrological symbols on it. So anyway, the moon is in Virgo, and it's in a configuration of a T-square. So we have the moon squaring Mars. So Gemini to Mars and Gemini over to the moon in Virgo, and then squaring Venus. So we have literally the moon's opposing Venus and squaring Mars. So this might be one of, oops, there we go. This Six of Cups. This might be one of the days to, well, with this card, it could have to do, and I allowed for reversals, but it didn't come through yet anyway. With the Six of Cups straight up, this can be a card of gifts and healing and, hanging out with people that you love and that you know. It's a card of siblings, and it's our card of, family, especially the family members that you've always got along, well with. It could have us feeling more carefree for the day. And maybe the moon is squaring Mars because, especially with Venus and Pisces now, and all planets direct, it could be that the moon opposition brings a breakthrough, and the square to Mars is kind of like, well, you just don't need to go there if there's any trouble. You're able to just move on. Oh, yeah, and with the Nine of Cups, because you're focused on what you really want. These cards are gorgeous. So Jupiter and Pisces, of course, we did have our yearly transit of, whole year of Jupiter and Pisces, and now it's in Aries, but Jupiter and Pisces is just, pulling out all the stops when it comes to having more than you want. So I think that this has to do with getting together with family or friends that you love and care about. When we have the death rebirth card coming through reverse, sometimes it means that there's not a big change. But if you're having a good time and you're at a party, or you're hanging out with people you love, why would you want a big change? I'd want to sit in that forever, right? And with these dailies, when we do have reversals or when we do have a challenging card, you read it much more, much more mildly, is I guess one word to use, than if you, only do a reading for yourself once or twice a year. With the dailies, you lighten everything up a bit. So maybe part of this has to do with the fear of change with the death reversed. There's sometimes a fear of change and we're holding on. And then other times it could be because we do have two, cup cards here, and cups can really relate to taking food in and taking drink in. And so maybe there's another hidden message for someone out there that this has to do with maybe feeling stuck because we're eating and drinking too much, and especially with family members. Or maybe you're feeling stuck because you're trying to help a family member out of the situation like that. I mean, it is the Sun in Scorpio with the Six of Cups. So if that's the case, just hang in there. I mean, I have no judgment when it comes to addictions, because I always see that as a trying to, return back to the pleasure, the 100% bliss of being a spiritual being. And I know how hard it is here on earth being human. So if that's happening, please don't, beat yourself up or, judge anybody harshly for what they're going through. Just keep sending the love out and do the best that you can for them. But yeah, and it can be like maybe you've been on a bit of a diet and this is a day that you just can't. I can't even, right? There's that possibility. So And we do have those days, right? When it's like, oh, dang, I haven't had cake in a year, right? Or pizza in 6 months, or things like that, right? So maybe this is just one of those days where you let yourself have what you want. And it could, oftentimes when we're craving something that's not so good for us, it's often because it brings us back to a time when we really enjoyed, like birthday cake, or maybe we're triggered by something on TV. I mean, there's nothing harder than trying to stay on a diet and watching TV, right? It's often better to read books and study elsewhere, or make sure that you don't watch the commercials. But then again, they're always drinking and eating, and they're almost always drinking and eating in movies and TV shows. And when they're not, it makes you wonder, like, God, do these people ever stop and eat, right? So anyway, let me know how the day is for you. But that's about all. The only thing I can see here with these cards right now. But just keep going for the inner fulfillment, and and maybe be careful about being drawn back to the familiar. Go with a newfound sense of fulfillment within. And know that with Jupiter and Pisces that there are unlimited possibilities of fulfillment, but most of them are on the inner levels, right? Just the way it is. So, yeah. Okay. Well, take good care, you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back soon.